I'd like to speak a bit about family. Family has been one of my biggest teachers. Early on in my spiritual awakening, I come to realize that I came here to this planet to know what family felt like, to be able to have a body, to be able to exist here in this earthly place and have this experience of family. And I came with a lot of hope. But when I was born into my family, I was born into a home where there was emotional neglect, where there was addictions, where there was lack of communication, where I endured physical and emotional sexual abuse. And I thought, I don't want to be in this family. I don't want to exist here on this planet. And I spent many, many, many days praying. And I knew at some point in my life that there must be a creator because I was always praying to him. And the whole sense of family for me was not a good experience, so I thought. What I come to realize in my recovery, in my spiritual awakening, is that I did choose the perfect family. Because everything that I experienced in my childhood is what helped me to be the person that I am today. Everything that I endured that came from a place of heartache, created wounds within inside of myself, was meant to awaken who I truly am. And I would have never knew about hope if I didn't take a look at how much family meant to me. Now that I am the age that I am, I have my own family, my own children, my own grandchildren. And family means even more to me today. But I'm now in a place where I am not trying to change my family. Or I'm not trying to control my family. I'm not trying to make them into something that I want them to be for my satisfaction, for my approval. What I've come to realize through receiving messages from my helpers, from my guides, is that we come here with a knowingness of who we are. We have that knowingness of our purpose. We have the knowingness of what the darkness will be in our lives. And we have a knowingness of what each one of those lessons are supposed to awaken within inside of ourselves. The moment that we are born, we are received by our true mother. When that amniotic fluid breaks from the mother that is birthing you, and it goes down her legs, and it touches the earth, it tells your true mother life is coming. And your true mother tells all of creation that life is coming. It's time to awaken to the plants, to the trees, to the sun, to the stars, to the winds, to the rains and the thunders. All of creation knows that life is coming. And it is a time for rejoicing. It is a time for creation to awaken and to receive you. Because when you arrive here with this knowingness of who you are in your most purest form. And the light that you bring here to our true mother is what heals and transforms her. You are the light and the life that is coming here to this earth. And it doesn't matter whether you were born into a home that was receiving, whether your mother wanted to be pregnant or not pregnant, whether there was disharmony between your mother and father because of you coming. It doesn't matter. That is all perfect. Because all that's meant to do is awaken within inside of you who you truly are. To know and remember the purity, to know and remember the love that you came here with, to know and remember that you have everything inside that sacred bundle that's inside your heart center. And when your true mother receives you, and you are born here to this place, and you take your 3 breaths of life here in this earthly realm, you are connected. You are anchored here to your true mother. And always you will have a connection in your heart center to that highest source through what Spirit calls the universal umbilical cord of life that is right here. And that's what brings that life force into this body, is that cord and that connection to the highest source. It is right here. Every time you breathe, you are reminded of those 3 breaths of life that brought life into this form. Within inside of yourself, you have this soul that holds on to this bundle and knows exactly when all these awakenings are supposed to and meant to happen for you. If we think about our wounds within our families, and we never take the time to heal those wounds, and we're growing up in a family that maybe has a number of siblings, you have sub-families within that family system. And everybody in that family system will see life a different way because of what we're carrying in here, because of the perception that we have from this place of our woundedness. That's how we will express ourselves. That's how we will interact with our family members. That's how we will project our hurt and our pain onto others based on whatever is unfinished here from your family system. And not only that, you will then carry that wound and you will go out there and you will find a partner that resembles those unfinished business. Whether it's a husband or a wife, you're going to pick your husband and wife based on what's in here, what that wound is. That you be attracted to that wound because it'll be a vibrational match for you. And as you do your healing and you do your clearing, sometimes no longer do you have a vibrational match. And a lot of relationships break down that way unless both individuals are willing to do the work and recognize the wounds that exist between the 2 of you, whether it be 2 sisters, 2 brothers, or a husband and wife. And you recognize the wounds that are between you, then you will grow and raise your vibration together. And if people choose not to, you will see that people will respond to you in their hurt, in their woundedness, from different ages, perhaps a 5-year-old, perhaps a 10-year-old, perhaps a teenager. Whenever that original wound began, that's how you will respond if it's not healed, if it's not exposed and taken care of inside of you. Resiliency can exist within families as well. And this is when we take accountability for our wounds and are willing to heal it or expose it and transform it. We will move into a place of that resiliency that I spoke of. When we do that within our family systems, we begin to feel empathy. In trauma, empathy is hard to exist within a family that has not healed, because we want to speak of this trauma and this hurt and this wound. And this individual, this sibling, wants to express the way that she was hurt and she was traumatized and felt in that wound. And so there's very little room for listening and empathy because of the trauma that exists in that family system. But if we are accountable to our own wounds, our own hurts, and our own pains, and we begin to do the healing on ourselves, we can hold the space for that person to express the hurt, to express the heartache, to speak openly about the wound that exists. And all we have to do is listen. We have to be present, and we're going to listen. And when we respond from a place of spirit, from a place of love, not from a place of, well, do you know what happened to me? Do you know how that affected me? It's not about that. It's about empathy. It's about understanding and being able to see their wound through their eyes. Through their eyes. Because when you do that, and you have empathy and compassion and love for that individual, they're going to then move to the soul. And they're going to be able to express from this place of purity, from this place of your original intent to come here into this family. From your original place of choosing that sibling, of choosing that mother and that father and that family. They're going to speak from this place. But if we continue to not recognize that everybody has their own perception and everybody in that family is valuable, and everybody in that family has information to share and has a purpose, we're not going to see from this place of the soul. We're going to see again from the pain that we witnessed, that we endured. Everybody in a family unit deserves to be an individual. Everybody within that family deserves to have their own thoughts, to have their own opinions, to have their own emotions. Everybody in that family unit came here by themselves to have a life. Everybody in that family unit came here with the bundle inside of them, knowing the contract where the lessons have been agreed upon. Everybody. And sometimes You have to sit back. And you can only say, they chose some hard lessons. They chose some very difficult lessons. And I hope and I pray that they will see that they are more than that pain. That they are this bundle, this truth, this absolute truth that is inside of them. Because there are times when we have to let go. But we can let go from a place of love, understanding, empathy. We are not meant to be enmeshed in an unhealthy family unit. We are born individual. We are received as an individual. Unless, of course, you are born with two, such as twins. They all know the lesson. And if a baby that comes, a woman is impregnated, and this baby comes and doesn't come to the full term, maybe only to the first trimester, and that baby goes home. That is also known, and that is also a lesson for that mother and that father and that family. Even if a woman has a miscarriage or abortion, that is also known. It is about the awakening of what that was meant to bring to you, what you were intended to awaken because of those experiences. When we can embrace our individuality and we awaken the bundle of who we are, and we begin to raise our vibration in the most purest form, that's when we have this whole notion of interconnection, interconnectedness. What's happening right now in this transformation with this world pandemic is that people are healing, people are awakening, people are raising their vibration, and they are bringing life into them in a quarantine place. And as we are interconnected, but we recognize our individuality, we feel also the pain and the grief of people across the planet. Maybe to other nations, we feel that pain, but because we're interconnected, we can raise our vibration still, so that other people on this planet have that feeling of love, have that feeling of transcendence, because we are interconnected. Yes, fear will still exist. And yes, grief will still exist, because those are human qualities that we have here in this body, unfortunately. But it's not meant for us to stay there. It's not meant for us to stay in a lower vibration. In order for us to truly know the light, we must know the darkness. We must be able to walk through the darkness. We must be able to come through the other side and recognize that we are the light in that darkness. And when we have this interconnection on the planet, we begin to raise the vibration of the whole universe. The whole universe. And imagine what we're going to have when people across the planet awaken and they dig deep inside to their wounds and they transform that into a higher vibration. Imagine what will exist when we come out of our doors, when we go into our communities and we see. I can just feel that, just thinking about that. The love that we will awaken. The love that we will awaken in here must happen first. And when we are free to go out of our doors, and we're free to drive into the city, and we see people, and we wave, and we smile, and we hug. Imagine the love in our families. That is what's meant to happen right now. That is where we are right now. It begins here. It begins here. So that we can have that in our families, in our nations, in our communities, in our world. And the leadership will follow. If that what exists in our planet, and that's the vibration we choose to have, our leadership must follow. For now, let them be the darkness, because it's awakening the light that is inside of you. You are the light.